evening, Papua New Guinea, and welcome to Sports Scene. Now, tonight, Shane Soroya joins us back on set, a familiar face we haven't seen in a while. How are you, Shane? What's it like to be back?
I'm good. Thank you very much, Lorraine. It's been a while, so yeah, thank you once again for having me on the show. Looking forward to it.
No worries. Now, tonight we talk a bit of rugby league, rugby sevens, and of course we wrap up the show with some soccer. Now, Shane, this weekend, big weekend for Port Moresby as the NRL Premiership Cup Trophy arrived here on Friday and toured the city.
Yeah, look, the NRL Trophy toured Port Moresby City on Friday. It was exciting for most of the rugby league fanatics around the nation's capital, and they did caught up with Brent Tate and the Cowboys officials following the trophy around the city. So yeah, I managed to caught up with them.
So let's take a look at the trophies tour around the nation's capital.
As you can see, we're here at the Jackson's International Airport, where former NRL star and Cowboy Brent Tate has just arrived with the 2015 NRL Premiership Trophy won by the Cowboys. And here's a look at everything that's going on.
Papua New Guinea, we just welcomed the Cowboys to PNG, and they promised to bring up the Grand Final Trophy that they won this month. So thanks to the Cowboys and thanks Brent for bringing up the Grand Final Trophy, the first time it's ever been to PNG. So thanks to the Cowboys and thanks to Trukai.
Yeah. Well, we want to thank Trukai. We want to thank the people of Papua New Guinea for making us so welcome all the time we come up. Trukai are great partners of us, and we love coming up. We love coming to Papua New Guinea. We have so many wonderful members and fans up here, and we love coming along. Brent's been up with us a couple of times, and it's wonderful for us to have the opportunity to bring the trophy along and to say hello to everybody while we're here. We're looking forward to the next few days. I know Tony's excited, and we're glad we could bring the Premiership Trophy with us. So, thank you.
The Premiership Trophy has already travelled more than 15,000 kilometres since it settled at its new home in Townsville with the Cowboys. The arrival of the 2015 Premiership Trophy on Thursday marked a historical moment for rugby league in Papua New Guinea as part of the team's Phase 3 of the tour. The Province Summons Trophy visited a number of locations today, including Waigani Central and Waterfront, where the public had the opportunity to have a feel of the prestigious NRL Trophy. Former Cowboy Brent Tate, who accompanied the trophy to PNG, was blown away by the support Papua New Guineans have shown towards the Cowboys and the NRL.
I've always said PNG supporters are the best supporters in the world, and this last couple of days has only just strengthened that belief that I have that your wonderful people love rugby league. Look, we were able to go to the school the other day and run a clinic, and it was just great to see a smile on the kids' faces. I don't actually think they could believe that this was the real trophy. So to be able to go there and take the trophy and see the smile on the kids' faces was a pretty special moment for the Cowboys, Trukai, and on behalf of both those guys that I just mentioned, we're very thankful we've been given the opportunity to come here and do it. Well, I think the trophy's done around 15,000 kilometres already, so it's travelled all through the north. This is actually the first time that the trophy's been outside of Australia, so to bring it to PNG has been wonderful. It's been exciting, and I'm sure it's still got a few kilometres left to travel around. Obviously, a lot of people want to see this thing, so it's only our pleasure to be able to take it around.
Yeah, we've got to work that through with our coaching stuff, but we think there's a real opportunity for a trial match up here against the Hunters probably, and you have some wonderful new stadiums and facilities now which will really help. So that's and especially with 2017 will come around very quickly for the World Rugby League Cup. So we need to work forward in those 2 years and put the infrastructure in place to make that happen. We'd love to come up here for a trial. It'd be fabulous.
To have the trophy tour the nation's capital will boost the number of not only Cowboys fans but the NRL as a whole.
When that field goal sailed through the middle of the post, the celebrations in the crowd was crazy. There's around 85,000 people there, and I think even some of the Broncos supporters, I think, were really happy that the Cowboys won, because we've been in the competition for 20 years now, and we've been chasing this trophy for that long. and they've finally got it this year. And it was just a really wonderful night, and the boys partied long and hard, let me tell you.
Now, obviously, the crowd there are just indications of how big NRL is here in Papua New Guinea, let alone the code of rugby league. Now, we head out for a few short messages. Don't go anywhere. When we're back, we talk rugby sevens and the hosting of the Kalibobo Sevens in Madang.
Welcome back to the show. Yes, now before we went to the break, Lorraine mentioned about the build-up of Rugby Sevens in Madang province. Now the Kalibobo Sevens, it will be happening next month, Lorraine.
This month.
Oh,
We're
sorry,
at the
this month,
start of November, but yes, with the build-up of Rugby Sevens happening around the country, as we've seen from the National Provincial Sevens, and of course the Amaiu Sevens, which had just happened recently, I think 2 weekends ago. You know, Rugby Sevens is on fire, and Madang has recently announced that they will be hosting the Kalibobo Sevens from the 14th of November to the 15th. And teams that participated in the NPC Sevens and of course the Amaiu Sevens are expected to feature in that tournament. And of course it should be used as a final selection for the national Pukpuks team to the Wellington Sevens qualifier later on. Let's just take a look at some of the highlights from the NPC Sevens, the Amaiu Sevens, and of course the results from the PNG InterOil Turagus of the weekend. The Turagus went on to winning the SEC International Rugby Sevens plate last night after defeating the Swedish Vikings 36-0, the Lanka Lions 45-7 in the semi-finals, and thrashing the Associate General Singapore Cricket Club's rugby team 26-5. The tournament not only featured talent selected straight out of the National Provincial Sevens Championships, but also the return of Stanis Susuve, Manu Gais and Billy Toria. Now winning second to the Cup, the team has definitely pulled in some positive results and demonstrated the value in selecting and developing young and fresh talent all throughout Papua New Guinea. But where to from now? Douglas Geiss will be preparing for the final selection of a national team to the Wellington Sevens qualifiers later on this month. The Wellington Sevens qualifiers will be held in Auckland, and the team is expected to see the return of Seven stars in the likes of Wesley and Max Varley, Arthur Clement and Henry Kalua. In the meantime, centres throughout the country will continue to host Sevens tournaments, with the Kalibobo Sevens next in line. Of course, the PNG InterOil Turagus departed PNG late last week to Singapore, and they did exceptionally well, especially being, you know, a fresh team, and it is a new concept that PNG Rugby has come up with, obviously, you know, with the fortunate support of InterOil.
Yeah, mentioning the most standout players in the team, I believe Butler Morris. He's been in phenomenal form in the last season. Now going into the match, we have a number of outstanding players too, but I believe Butler Morris, he really must have stepped up his game in the competition. And yeah, obviously winning the plate. Congratulations to the boys. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, like as mentioned before, you know, it is quite a huge achievement because, as mentioned, the concept is quite new, and to go out there and win the plate, that, you know, they were up against some of the best teams. We had the South African development team. We had teams from,
Vikings.
Europe, yes, from the Asian continent. And yes, Butler Morris has been outstanding. And, leading up to their departure, we had quite a big coverage on the team. And we did make mention that it was a development team, but, we had the few senior guys there, along the likes of, obviously, Butler Morris, Tisa Kautu, Billy Toria, Stanis Susuve, and Manu Guys, who made their comeback into the national colours. This, the InterOil Turagus will be used as a feeder team into the national PNG Pukpuks team. So for them to come back with those results, just they're good indications of the fresh talent that we have. It's just we need to develop them, and also good indications there for Douglas Guys, who stood up as head coach. So job well done, boys.
Now, Lauren, you've been doing a lot of Rugby 7 story now. Do you think Papua New Guinea has a fair chance of putting another team, despite the Turagus, in the upcoming competition, like in the near future?
Oh, well, yes, definitely. I think it all, we on Sports Scene, we often talk about, the development, and we do have catch play, and there's eventually going to feature the development of all codes. In order for us to get there and to, have more teams flowing through it and, producing positive results like that, we need to have, a development program in place. And that's, that's something that PNG Rugby, let alone Rugby Sevens, hasn't had in a very long time. So if we just, keep that momentum of, Rugby Sevens going and build on the development programs in place, then slowly but surely, hopefully we do get there.
Okay. Yeah, okay, now good indication of Rugby Sevens now. Now coming after the break, we talk more on soccer.
Welcome back now to soccer. Last week, Jeremy and I popped over to the IPA fields, caught up with Hekari, and they've begun their preparations leading up into the upcoming season of the National Soccer League. They've got new recruits. They're looking to take the title of the Lay City Dwellers. Hekari has been dominant in the NSL this last season. Devastating results for the team. Do you feel that they will come back stronger this upcoming season, Shane?
Yeah, of course, definitely. Now, look, Hekari went up against Medang in the semi-finals and they lost to Medang. Disappointing time for the coach last year, but I believe this year now, as a good manager, Voni Capinato now, she definitely will regroup his men for the upcoming NSL season.
Youth has been a theme for this year's Hekari outfit. Former striker Kema Jack has taken a backseat role as he looks to assist head coach Jerry Allen in creating a new brand of player for the club. Last season's semi-finals had seen Hekari lose to a rampant Medang FC at the Laiwaran, and a number of players from their team are no longer part of this season's squad. Manageress Voni Capinato has looked abroad to bring in a cluster of seasoned campaigners, as well as promote her youth team members.
Happy and thankful to our boys, and especially to our coaching staff, to our sponsors, MRDC. And this year, if you can see my team now, most of them are very young players. Not only young, but good quality boys. We have brought in some few international players to help our team in preparation for our big challenges ahead of us.
The new season of the NSL will feature 2 conferences, and Hekari is also wary of the threat posed by other Port Moresby-based franchises. Hekari will be fighting on 2 fronts as they have for a number of years. Not only do they have the domestic competition to deal with, they will also be taking on the rest of the Pacific's best in the Oceania Champions League.
Vanuatu, Amikel and Tafe didn't do anything much for their team. I think we have spoiled many of their dream, and to me, that's how I feel that a lot of strength from different island players in our team make a lot of difference, which is we did it last year. And at the moment we have 6 in preparation for our championship, our friendly games.
This time, however, they will not be alone, as Grand Final winners Lay City Dwellers will join them in their debut season. Draws for the National Soccer League have yet to be released, but Hekari will not be taking any team in the Southern Conference lightly.
Now, the phenomenal combination of Raymond Guneba and Nigel Debinaba. Now, these two have been in blistering form, captaining the boys, Lay City Dwellers, to the ultimate triumph in the NSL National Soccer League Grand Final last year. So, yes, certainly they will give a challenge to Hekari.
Lay City Dwellers management, coaching staff and technical support team are starting 2015 with great expectations. Last year, they snatched victory from Madang FC at the Grand Final. Their preparations now is geared towards achieving the same results. Late yesterday afternoon, they had a visit from the Morobe Governor, Kelly Naru, who brought good news for the club.
Osem na one time display. Mi play katama mas long sana backside long ipla. Na mi talk thank you long club long you play look sawe long this la mutual relationship lo yumi long support lo yumi go come.
The provincial government is paying for the Lay City Dwellers Telecom National Soccer League 60,000 kina registration fee.
And also on that note, Gigira Laitapo FC, now they've been out in the competition, out on the limelight for a while now, and they will make their comeback in this next NSL season. So definitely, yeah, they will be a force to be reckoned with too, and looking forward to a great NSL season. Now, on that note, Elijah did manage to catch up with the Gigira Laitapo boys, and here's what Elijah has for us.
Most of the players in the team are Port Moresby based, with many fairly new to the NSL competition. The team is made up of a mixture of experienced and young players.
Most of these boys are, 18, 19, 20, and 21, and a few senior boys to guide us.
They are prepared and are excited for the NSL season, with the hope of giving a good run to the top teams in the competition.
We just got the boys together going for the last two weeks. But we hoping to give the big clubs a good run this season.
The team will be cut down before the tournament kicks off. Bulk of the players are youths, and they plan to start up a development program to build a team.
We don't have the luxury of money to buy players, so I think it's better we grow our own players. So better to grow success than buy success. Yeah.
With short notice, they have managed to put together a young and vibrant team. Trainings have just begun over the past 2 weeks.
Well, there you have it, the update on the National Soccer League. Now the season kicks off this month. Very exciting times ahead for all you soccer fans there in Papua New Guinea. We have more soccer coming up after this break. Don't go anywhere. Jeremy Moggy joins us on an update of the Besta Cup over in Ley over the weekend.
Yeah, welcome back to Sports Scene. Now, Jeremy was over at Ley to cover most of the Besta Cup competition. So without further ado, let's take a look at what Jeremy has in store for us.
Madang had barely qualified after the dismissal of Situm in the Mamasa leg, and while LFA could claim the home crowd advantage, the match was highly even from the start. LFA had been placed under a huge amount of pressure early on, and opportunities up front were rare, and Madang had a crucial opening goal on the 18th minute. In response, LFA striker Raymond Gunemba would fight it out, oftentimes alone. The LFA fight back, however, never came, despite numerous chances to score. And Madang would take the victory and go on to the grand final. In the other semi-final, Manus scored first in a seesawing encounter with Kaupa 3. Manus, at one stage, taking the lead and then falling behind before a penalty would see them even the scores. And in the second of the semi-finals, it was Manus victorious over Kaupa team number 3, the match going right down to the wire. It was 3-3 after regulation time, and it had to go down to a penalty shootout. Manus taking it 5-4 to meet Madang in the grand final of the Besta FA National Cup.
Really proud that you came all the way from the village, playing in village conditions, coming into town and in holding your own, and even doing very, very well, and being selected to go to the national championship in Leh.
Performance of the team, I don't know why they failed, because having been an executive of PNG FA, I'm also for Southern Region. The boys, when they played home locally, they played better than they played over in Leh.
Carolyn Obi would captain her side against fellow PNG international Deslin Siniu in a showdown between PNG women's heavyweights Port Moresby Soccer Association and Lahi. PMSA taking the lead early within 15 minutes after an error straight down the center of Lahi's defense. That goal creating a spark in the match as the level of intensity rose. Kesai Stephen in the midfield for Lahi, setting up a golden opportunity for striker Megan Gunemba, only for keeper Pauline Nusai to save brilliantly. Lahi's defense exposed again as striker Yvonne Gabong missed from point-blank range. And on the other side of the park, Lahi's Jacqueline Chalau squandered yet another opportunity almost immediately after. PMSA's Davina Noata staking a claim for senior duty with a threatening free kick towards the end of the half. PMSA utilizing their experience to take a 1-0 victory over a younger Lahi side, and that win comes as an added bonus considering that PMSA have not had active competition since August 2014.
Manus had to overcome a feisty Kaupa in the semi-finals the day before and looked sharp against the Madang outfit who'd beaten LFA to advance. Manus taking the lead early and ramping up the style before Richard Lotte with a brilliant strike after Langarap Samol would dispossess Madang FC skipper Max Sigam and set him up with a through ball. Throughout the first half, Manus dominated. The memory of a painful 4-1 thrashing in the ONG game still raw as the NGI champions look to impose themselves in the match. The second half, however, was a different story. Consecutive free kicks and corners going the way of Madang, and the earlier Manusian composure was lacking. Former Hekari teammates in Neil Hands and Emmanuel Irem fighting hard, but the solitary goal remained Manus, the first team from the NGI to successfully defend the Besta Cup title.
We had chances, Midland had chances, but it's just that Midland capitalized with the chances. They were also in signs of weakness towards the end. Last 10 minutes you can see the fatigue creeping along defense from the backside. Just that we have, I think, 2 clear chances. All boys not confirming. But it's we should. I believe so. Midland confirm this, make it 1-1, and we. Midland go back, so extra time we could have beat them.
I'm very, very excited, awesome, great. I'm feeling very overjoyed.
Now, moving on from the Besta National Championships, what next for this particular team?
Well, the team is already, the nation is aware that we are going to be representing Manus for our team as AFC Admiralty Paliao, and these boys will be the team for AFC.
And of course, congratulations there to PMSA for taking out the Besta Cup in Leh. Now that wraps up tonight's program. As many of you may have noticed, we do have a poll running on the EMTV Sports Facebook page. Do get involved. We'd really love to hear from you. It's regarding the inclusion of other centres to the National Soccer League. We'd like to know if you think their inclusion will boost the competition in terms of the quality of the game here in Papua New Guinea.
Yes. Now, Lorraine, before we go, just a congratulations to the New Zealand All Blacks for taking out the World Cup Cup, yeah, defeating Australia
Yes,
in the finals.
unfortunately, I've got all black on, so I can't really comment too much on that. But yes, that brings us to the end of tonight's show. Thank you very much for joining Shane and I. We'll be back with more of Sports Scene, same time, same place next week.